Imagine a Philippines with no graft, no under-the-table deals, no bribes. A nation where every peso of public money goes exactly where it's supposed to. It's not a fantasy, it's a future that can be built. For decades, corruption has been a persistent drag on the nation's potential, a shadow that dims the incredible vibrance and spirit of its people. It erodes trust, hampers growth, and denies millions the quality of life they deserve. But what if we could change the system? What if we could build a government as honest and hard-working as its people? This isn't just about pointing out problems. This is about exploring the solutions. This is a roadmap for how the Philippines can prevent corruption and rise again. To understand the urgency, we first need to grasp the true cost of corruption. It's not just about stolen money, it's about stolen opportunities. When funds disappear, the consequences are felt in every corner of society. In healthcare, it means underfunded public hospitals, a shortage of essential medicines, and families having to choose between treatment and their life savings. In infrastructure, it results in ghost projects that exist only on paper, or substandard roads and bridges that crumble after a single typhoon, costing not just money to repair, but lives. In education, it means classrooms without enough books, schools without proper facilities, and teachers who are overworked and under-supported, directly impacting the future of our youth. Economically, corruption is a massive red flag for investors. It creates an unpredictable and unfair business environment, driving away the foreign capital that could create thousands of jobs. It also stifles local entrepreneurs, who are forced to navigate a maze of bureaucratic red tape and illegal fees, choking the very engine of our economy. The World Bank estimates that countries can boost their national income significantly by controlling corruption. For the Philippines, this translates to trillions of pesos that could be invested in progress. The cost is clear. It's a tax on every citizen, paid for with diminished services, slower growth, and broken trust. So, why does corruption persist? It's not a simple moral failing. It's a systemic problem with deep roots. One of the primary drivers is the presence of weak institutions and a lack of transparency. When government processes are opaque and public contracts are awarded behind closed doors, it creates fertile ground for illicit deals. Excessive bureaucracy or red tape is another major factor. When obtaining a simple permit requires dozens of steps and signatures, it creates countless opportunities for officials to demand facilitation fees to speed things up. This discretionary power, combined with low salaries for some public servants, creates a powerful incentive for petty corruption to become normalized. Furthermore, our economy is still heavily reliant on cash transactions, which are difficult to trace and easy to conceal, making bribery and extortion much simpler to execute. These systemic weaknesses, sometimes coupled with a cultural reluctance to challenge authority, create a cycle that can be difficult to break. But understanding these roots is the first step to designing effective solutions. The most powerful disinfectant is sunlight. The first pillar of prevention is a radical commitment to transparency. This means moving beyond promises and implementing concrete systems. Imagine a centralized public online portal where every single government contract, from a multi-billion peso infrastructure project details down to the purchase of office supplies, is published for everyone to see. This includes the project cost, the winning bidder, and the timeline. This is the power of e-procurement. It replaces closed-door negotiations with open, competitive bidding, reducing the risk of overpricing and favoritism. Budgets should be published in machine-readable formats, not just as dense PDF documents. This allows journalists, academics, and citizens to easily analyze the data, track where money is going, and flag anomalies. When the public can follow the money, it becomes much harder for it to disappear. The second pillar is to embrace the digital age. We must automate and digitize government services wherever possible. Think about it. Corruption thrives on human-to-human interaction and discretion. By moving processes online, we can dramatically reduce these opportunities. All government fees, from taxes to business permits, should be payable through cashless systems, bank transfers, mobile wallets, or payment centers. This creates an instant, undeniable digital trail. Applying for a business license or a personal document should be a clear, online process with automated steps. This removes the fixer from the equation. Every digital transaction, every application, every approval CPG creates a time-stamped audit trail. This makes it easy for auditors to spot irregularities, like an application pad drawings being mysteriously fast-tracked or delayed. Automation doesn't just fight corruption, it also makes government faster, more efficient, and more convenient for everyone. Technology is a tool, but people are the heart of public service. The third pillar is to build a truly professional, merit-based, and well-compensated civil service. This starts with hiring and promotion based on competence and integrity, not political connections. Implementing regular rotations for officials in sensitive positions, like customs or tax collection, can prevent them from building entrenched networks for illicit activities. We must also ensure that public servants receive a living wage. When salaries are too low to support a family, the temptation for corruption increases exponentially. At the same time, we need robust accountability. This means regular and genuinely scrutinized lifestyle checks and the strict enforcement of asset declaration laws. If a public official's wealth suddenly and inexplicably grows, it must be investigated swiftly and impartially. A professional, respected, and accountable civil service is the backbone of a clean government. For rules to have meaning, there must be a referee. The fourth pillar is the strengthening of independent oversight bodies. Institutions like the Commission on Audit and the Office of the Ombudsman must be fully funded, insulated from political pressure, and empowered to act on their findings. Their reports shouldn't just gather dust, they should trigger immediate consequences. Furthermore, we must create a culture where whistleblowers are protected, not punished. Strong whistleblower protection laws, including financial rewards and legal immunity, encourage those on the inside to expose wrongdoing without fear of reprisal. These watchdogs act as the immune system of the state, detecting and neutralizing the virus of corruption before it can spread. Complexity is the friend of corruption. The fifth pillar is a relentless drive to simplify rules and reduce discretion. The Anti-Red Tape Act and the Ease of Doing Business Act are steps in the right direction, but their implementation must be universal and uncompromising. This means establishing more one-stop shops where citizens can complete multiple transactions in a single place. It means every government service must have a publicly displayed Citizens' Charter, clearly stating the steps, the cost, and the maximum processing time. If the government fails to meet its own deadline, the application should be automatically approved. This shifts the burden of efficiency onto the bureaucracy, not the citizen, and eliminates the need for bribes to speed things up. Government cannot and should not do this alone. The sixth pillar is empowering civic participation and protecting media freedom. This involves mechanisms like participatory budgeting, where local communities have a direct say in how public funds are spent. It means using community scorecards, where citizens can rate the quality of local services, creating a feedback loop that holds officials accountable. A strong, independent, and well-resourced media is also non-negotiable. Investigative journalists' padroins are the public's eyes and ears, uncovering scandals and explaining complex issues in a way that everyone can understand. A robust freedom of information law, actively used by citizens and journalists alike, is the tool that unlocks the transparency we've discussed. An engaged citizenry and a free press are the ultimate checks and balances. Finally, a long-term solution requires a cultural shift. The seventh pillar is education and values formation. This begins in schools, integrating a curriculum of ethics, integrity, and civic responsibility from a young age. It continues in the workplace, with mandatory and meaningful ethics training for all public servants. We need to foster a national mindset where corruption is seen not as a normal part of life, but as a betrayal of the public trust. This also means creating safe, accessible, and anonymous channels for citizens to report corruption without fear. When an entire generation is raised with a zero-tolerance attitude towards corruption, the system will inevitably change. These pillars may seem large and institutional, but they are built on the actions of individuals. So what can you, as a citizen or a business owner, do? First, commit to a personal policy of zero tolerance. Politely refuse to pay bribes, no matter how small. When you do, you break the cycle. Second, always demand official receipts for any payment. This ensures the money is recorded and goes to the proper channels. Third, use the system. Report instances of corruption through official, safe channels. The more people report, the harder it is to ignore. Fourth, get involved locally. Join or monitor your local development council. Pay attention to how your local budget is being spent. For businesses, the role is just as critical. Implement strong internal compliance programs. Join or form integrity pacts, where a group of companies in the same industry collectively pledges to stop bribery, creating a level playing field for everyone. Collective action is powerful. When citizens and businesses act with integrity, they create a demand for a government that does the same. The Philippines is not alone in this fight. Many countries have made remarkable progress. In Georgia, they radically simplified business regulations and fired JJ's entire traffic police force, rebuilding it from scratch. The result? Corruption plummeted and business boomed. In Estonia, they built one of the world's most advanced digital governments, making services transparent and incredibly efficient. In South Korea, a powerful anti-corruption agency and a strong Freedom of Information Act have empowered citizens and journalists to hold the powerful to account. These examples show that rapid transformative change is possible. The key ingredients are political will, strong systems, and active citizen participation. The solutions are not secret. They are waiting to be implemented with conviction. So, what is the roadmap for the Philippines to rise again? It can be summarized in 5 key steps. 1. Digitize. Move all government payments and applications online to create clear digital trails. 2. Simplify. Drastically cut red tape and remove the discretionary power that fuels extortion. 3. Publish. Put all budgets and contracts online in a user-friendly format for public scrutiny. 4. Enforce. Empower independent watchdogs and protect whistleblowers to ensure there are real consequences for corruption. 5. Engage. Foster active participation from citizens, businesses, and a free media to create a culture of accountability. Following this roadmap won't just reduce corruption, it will unlock the nation's true potential. It will mean better roads, hospitals, and schools. It will mean a surge in investments, creating more and better jobs. It will transform the Philippines from the Pearl of the Orient into a true economic and social powerhouse of Asia. The path forward is clear. It requires courage, commitment, and the collective will of an entire nation. It's about more than just changing rules. It's about rewriting our future. It's time to demand transparency, to participate in governance, and to hold our leaders accountable. It's time to change the system, and in doing so, change the story.